This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You are watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Okay, so after watching Eddie Hearn's interview with OFL TV, I'm sure most of you have seen it already. If you haven't, I'll pop it in the description box below for you, where he's pretty much saying what a lot of you have been saying over the last 48 hours, which is people are not really buying the excuses coming out of Team Fury's camp as to why the Deontay Wilder fight is not happening on July the 24th. So 2 weeks today, this fight was supposed to go down. In fact, they're looking to reschedule it for October. Now, he's saying that because of his dealings with Team Fury and Bob Arum and everybody, he doesn't trust anything that's coming out of Team Fury because he feels like he was led down the garden path when it came to the whole Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury undisputed fight, where they just wasted his time. So I can fully understand where it is that Eddie Hearn's coming from, because I think a lot of people feel the same way, that Tyson Fury, his team, pretty much conned the public. So, of course, anything that comes out of Team Fury's camp now, people are going to be skeptical. As I said before, that you can only lie so much until people go, you know what, we don't believe anything that you say anymore. It's like the boy who cried wolf, isn't it? When eventually you tell the truth about something, people are going to be skeptical. So a lot of people, they're saying that maybe Tyson Fury, he got punched up in sparring. Again, that's possible. Of course it's possible. It happens. It wouldn't be the first time Tyson Fury has been dropped and put out in sparring. And it probably won't be the last time, okay? It happens. So that's nothing unusual. Wilder, he's been battered from pillar to post in sparring before. So is Joshua, and so is many people. But that's nothing unusual. But would that be reason enough to cancel a fight? Well, it depends on what happened. It does depend on what happened. I mean, if Fury got put out cold, then maybe. If he is just struggling with his sparring partners, such as Jared Anderson and F.A. Jagba and whoever else have got in, then sure. Quite clearly, his timing's off, his conditioning's off, everything is off. So that's not really good to be going in to a fight on fight night, on pay-per-view against anybody, let alone just Deontay Wilder. So again, that's one reason. Another reason would be that Tyson Fury, his conditioning ain't looking very good. He's still looking very flabby. And he is. He is. He doesn't look like he's in good condition. All this lockdown period where he's been doing the workouts and everything, I mean, they weren't proper workouts, were they? I mean, they were more like yoga classes, to be honest with you. So Tyson Fury, he didn't look in great condition. Wilder always does. I mean, I think Wilder is always monitoring what it is that he eats, and he's always in great condition. But with Fury, he does blow up in between camps, and of course, being out of the ring for 18 months, of course, there's going to be some side effects, especially when it comes with Tyson Fury. His self-control isn't great when it comes to food and drinks and all that kind of thing. But yeah, Fury does look out of condition, so maybe that's one of the reasons why he's not in the condition that he thinks he should be in. So that could be a reason. But of course, I think most people are going with the ticket sales. Now, I said this to you ever since that we heard that a third fight may be happening. So even before it even went to arbitration and everything, I was saying people won't be interested in a third fight. We've seen this fight twice before with Fury and Wilder. We've seen Fury get the better of Wilder on both occasions. Officially, the first one was called a draw. On the second one, Fury put it out. No doubt, he just battered Deontay Wilder. Do we need to see it a third time? No. And even Peter Fury saying, why do we need to see a third fight for? There's no need for one. There's no need for it. We've seen it twice already. Most people are saying that. So that will tell you in itself that people were not looking forward to this third fight. And especially when you look at the situations leading up to this third fight as well. Firstly, the allegations from Deontay Wilder to Tyson Fury about the gloves, the egg weights, Mark Breeden being fired for the spiking of the water and all this kind of thing. Wilder, he could never sell anyway. Him and Fury never sold out either of their fights. I know some people say, yeah, they did. I was there. I've seen it. No, it's an old trick. Okay, it's an old trick because even the official numbers come out were shy of the full capacity by a couple of thousand. What they do is they usher people from the back forward into the other seats, and then they pull a black curtain around. So it looks like it's sold out, but it's not. It's a trick that's used here in the UK as well. Okay? But Wilder, he's never really been able to sell out. He's not a big ticket seller. So of course, when you come out with all these kind of excuses, Wilder has lost a lot of fans, especially when it comes to the whole Mark Breeden thing. That's something people can't forgive. People can probably laugh at the other thing, saying he's just being stupid. But the fact that he said these things about Mark Breland has upset a lot of his own fans to the point where they've had to walk away from him because they can't buy into those kind of reasonings. And that's fully acceptable in my mind. So if he was struggling to sell before, he's losing a lot of fans himself who never really turned up to his events anyway. What do you think was going to happen in this third fight? Let's also not forget that people feel like Tyson Fury conned us when it comes to the Anthony Joshua fight. That this whole thing was just a way to build up a third fight with Wilder because these guys were always going to fight anyway. People feel conned. People are just not interested. And I know people say, but the ticket sales, you can't say anything because there's still 2 weeks left to go. And I hear this quite a lot when it comes to Wilder fights. There all seems to be some kind of excuse. Oh, well, people, they don't really buy tickets until a day or two before the fight. Some people just turn up on fight night. That's what they do. It's absolute rubbish. It's absolute rubbish. And I'll tell you for why. Canelo Alvarez, Billy Joe Saunders. Of course, they were fighting in the stadium. And in the first 24 hours, 40,000 tickets were sold. 40,000. That's over double the capacity of what Fury and Wilder will be fighting in right now. So the first 24 hours, 40,000 tickets. Then a few weeks later, when of course the fight was on, 65,000 tickets were sold. But this is a Mexican in America taking on a Brit in America. When Anthony Joshua went over there to fight, originally it was Big Baby Jaramillo, then of course it was switched to Andy Ruiz Jr., they sold 75% of the tickets, again, in the first opening hours of them going on sale. And then weeks before the fight, a couple of weeks before the fight, it was already sold out. So you can't use that as an excuse. If other people are selling, then why is he not? Because he's not a big star. Because Wilder is not a big star. Because obviously Fury, yes, sure, he's a big star like globally, but ultimately he's a Brit. How well is he really going to sell in America? He'll do quite well, but he ain't going to sell out no arena. Especially for a third fight people are not asking for. So the ticket sales are very, very poor. By the looks of it, and again, people have been sending me links to the tickets, it looks like not even half have sold. Not even half. So you're talking about, what, 9,000, 10,000? That's nothing. That is absolutely nothing. Joshua does that in his opening hours at Madison Square Garden. Canelo does that 4 times over in the first few hours. So you can't really have those kind of excuses. The fact is, people are not interested in this fight. Maybe Top Rank and the PBC looked at this and go, man, we're going to lose money again, because apparently they did actually lose money on the rematch. We don't want to be losing money again. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll come out with the old COVID excuse and we'll reschedule it. We'll try and build it a bit better. But again, for me, it ain't going to do any... If Fury did not have COVID, there's no reason to postpone this fight if it is down to ticket sales, because going from now up until October, nothing's going to change. But of course, you've also got that situation as well where people are not confident for the most part about going to a mixed environment coming through a pandemic. I mean, I know that Canelo Saunders done very well and a couple of other fights have done quite well, but it's not always going to be that case. People are going to feel like, well, that's a bit too close for comfort inside a arena for a third fight that we're not that interested in. So anyway, I mean, exactly what the reasons are. Has Fury got COVID? I don't know. If he does, of course, we all wish him a speedy recovery. But either way, of course, anything that comes out of Team Fury, people are going to be skeptical of. It's natural, isn't it? You can only be lied to so many times before you have to question everything. And that's the truth of it. Anyway, my thoughts, you drop me yours, click thumbs up, subscribe, catch you on the next video.